All right, being told you're too sensitive isn't feedback that is actually about you. It is someone hitting their emotional relational limit. And if you're the one replaying the conversation afterward, this is going to change what you can do and how you respond the next time someone says these dreaded words to you. I'm Chrissie, the emotional intelligence nurse, and I'm here to give you not just the psychology, but the practice and everyday tools. So these aren't scripts to win arguments. That's not what we're here for. These are tools to help protect your emotional integrity without over-explaining, over-functioning, shrinking, or collapsing into the relationships, no matter the type. So keep watching. I'm going to give you the 4 tools for clear and easy practice for the next time someone says you're too sensitive. And if you didn't catch the first video, get it here. All right, tool number 1, the pause and the translation check. So first thing, do nothing. This is hard at first because so many empathic people have what I call an external nervous system orientation. What this is, they notice, you notice the other person and their emotional state first before yourself. So when someone says you're too sensitive, your reflex is to explain, to justify, to soften, to clarify or translate, and to emotionally babysit the other person to make your message more palatable for their comfort and subconscious hopes of your own that they're going to validate you and the connection can stay intact. So instead of jumping into that urgent fixing behavior, pause. Find a way to pause. I often find that something tactile is a helpful cue, whether you touch your watch, a ring, or you put your hand to your chest, maybe you have a necklace or a pendant, something tactile to help you pause and reorientate back into your body. Why this works is that pause is going to interrupt that automatic transfer of emotional responsibility back onto you. You can orientate your brain and body just a little bit more to what is happening into the interaction and the information that this person just gave you when they said that thing. Oh my gosh, Chrissy, this is so awkward. What do you say after this pause? I'm going to tell you. So what do you mean by that? When someone says you're too sensitive, you pause, maybe you have a breath or two, and you say, can you tell me what you mean by that? So this is going to do 2 things in this interaction. It is going to stop you from absorbing all that shame or collapsing into the conversation and emotionally caretaking the other person, which is self-abandoning. And number 2, it is going to quietly and politely return ownership of that statement back to the speaker. So instead of shutting you and the conversation down, you are inviting them to explain not only their statement, but their experience of the interaction. So, spoiler alert, if they have limited emotional and relational capacity, they're just going to shut the conversation down by any type of statement, and you're going to feel it. You're going to know. It will be clear. If they are able to engage in a conversation and share their experience, woohoo, okay, this is an adult, respectful, reciprocal conversation that is attempting to repair and to clarify the interaction and the experience of both people involved. But if you are watching this, you need to know these next steps because it's important for what do you do next. So if they cannot articulate an answer, that is information that you know what to do. If they escalate, that is information. You're going to know what to do. So your job here is not to fix the moment, no matter how awkward it feels for you. This is a huge pain point for empaths. I get it. I understand. I have felt this. But our job here is to observe the capacity from the information we get and to respond, not react, with discernment. Okay, tool number 2, bring it back to impact. Tool number 2 is for when the conversation made it far enough and you did name the impact and they just deflected. And the dreaded "you're too sensitive" statement came out. So you don't argue with sensitivity. And another person cannot really state what you experienced in your body. They can only accept it or deny it, and you. So when you bring it back to impact, here are some ideas of what you could say. I'm not debating sensitivity. I'm sharing how I received this. That's what I experienced. So notice how both of these responses are fairly clear, they're fairly short, there is no over explaining. You are stating your reality. This other person does not get to tell you your reality. That is a fact. That is just how it is. I'm sorry. So you are not making this palatable for them. You are explaining what happened for you. So this is honestly no different than stating, I feel hungry right now. Who gets to tell you what your hunger cues are and when they happen? And don't we call this gaslighting? Okay. Your body might feel a little bit activated. This feels tricky for empathic people to do. Many of us have a tendency to over-explain in a subconscious attempt to be accepted and validated and to keep the peace and the connection. Again, I want to remind you of tool number 1 is find ways to pace and pause yourself. Your body is going to feel that activation. That is okay. We can learn to work with this and not react from it. So you can practice these ways as much as you're able to tolerate the activation while continuing to be grounded in your body and in yourself, and then speak from this place that is internally orientated. So why does this work? Honestly, impact language removes the argument and exposes avoidance without really attacking the other person. Impact language is also going to attempt to create more of a neutral space between the person and the experience and their behavior. So you are attempting to discuss with them what happened in interaction for you. You are not making them the issue. It's not criticizing and personalizing it to them and the behavior. So if they still dismiss you and deflect or devalue you here, you've learned something important. This is information. And it is not information about your sensitivity, but about their accountability ceiling. Okay? Oddly enough, this is also their sensitivity to perceived criticism and potentially some shame. All right, tool number 3, the responsibility boundary. This one is big for empaths, let me tell you. So when someone says you're too sensitive, there is often an unspoken demand underneath these words. I like to call it the underbelly. What's the underbelly of what they said? So here's the underbelly. Please manage the discomfort for me. Don't have needs maybe, or at least don't tell me your needs and how I mismanaged them, whether I meant to or not. So here's the boundary that empaths need to know and start feeling into with some words and some actual actions, not just keeping it intellectual. I'm open to talking about this, but I'm not going to be responsible for both of us. Clear, simple, straightforward. It's not cold. This is an adult statement, and I get it. Adulting is hard at times, but it's doable. So here's the thing. You're not running a pop-up daycare for everyone who wants to be off the emotional hook because they haven't built up these skills or they don't want to feel awkward practicing them. That's not going to work for you. Why this is going to work in this conversation is you're naming the relational expectation instead of absorbing it and being responsible for it and explaining yourself away and self-abandoning or shrinking and collapsing into the interaction. People who have enough emotional courage will attempt to meet you here, plain and simple. Right? They will attempt to build relational bridges, even if it feels awkward. And yeah, it's uncomfortable. Your bodies are both likely activated. What I mean by activated is you're feeling butterflies in your stomach, your heart's racing, your hands got sweaty, maybe your jaw clenches, or you're feeling like, oh, I just want out of here. That's what I mean by activated. Okay, so when this is happening for you and for them, honestly, it says nothing about you or them. It is simply information of emotional and relational capacities in real time. And you've hit a bump in the road. You've hit a point of rupture. You have the choice to repair, or you have the choice to avoid, deny, and move forward. Okay. Tool number 4, the internal reframe. And this is your real power move, empaths. So listen in. This last tool isn't something that you're going to say in the moment to the other person. It is something that you're going to try and do and say inside for yourself. It is the most influential because it can help you build and anchor a felt sense in your body, in your experiences and sensations and emotions for the next interaction that goes this way and someone uses this statement to deny and deflect. All right, so when someone says you're too sensitive, you can translate it as best as you can in real time. You can think of this video, come back to it, go to the original one. And the biggest internal translation that you can remind yourself of, this person is at the edge of their emotional and relational capacity. That is okay. So, because we're not here to judge or criticize or shame someone else's internal world and emotional structures and their tools and their capacity, we just remind ourselves they're not broken, but they might be limited in this interaction or in this moment. Here's the key: their limit is not your cue to abandon yourself and fix everything just for the sake of comfort in that moment. You do not need to make your needs not be a thing, not be important. Sensitivity is not the problem here, and it never was. So once you can start to internalize this and anchor that as a thought and feeling into your body, something is going to change for you slowly over time. You can start to tap into no longer feeling the need to chase understanding from people who do not have the tools and the capacity or the willingness to offer it to you. Can you feel that relief, that unburdening? Just saying it gives me shivers. This is so powerful. Okay, so let's recap, because your nervous system probably loves structure as much as I love emotional precision. 4 tools to work through this. Okay, tool number 1, pause and ask for clarity. Tool number 2, bring it back to impact. Tool number 3, set a responsibility boundary. And the last one, translate capacity, not character. Okay, none of these require intensity, urgency. They require self-trust and the ongoing practice of coming back to your body and staying in your body to engage with others from that place. So here's one last truth that I'm going to share with you that most empaths need to hear. You don't need better wording. You don't need better arguments. You need better filters for the conversation content to go through to help you respond and not react. Not everyone gets access to your depth, right? Not everyone can meet you there, and that is okay. That is not a judgment of other people. It is discernment of who and when and how you engage with others and what emotional relational skills you use in all of those various interactions. So if you are looking for more clarity tools, check out the description below where you can find my emotional safety reset or my emotional overfunctioning reset, 2 clarity tools that give you information just like this, some practical things that you can actually take into your day-to-day life and interactions with other human beings. If this made a lot of sense, save it and come back to it when you need the pep talk. And maybe share this with another empath who often leaves conversations replaying them, beating themselves up for what they did wrong, or feeling shame that they are maybe too sensitive, and that's not the issue that's happening here. I'm Chrissie, the emotional intelligence nurse, and your sensitivity is not a liability anymore. I'll see you around.